We're going to learn an inexpensive way to fix an outdoor pipe today. My pool water kept going down and I knew I had a leak. I didn't want to call a plumber. Last time I had to pay over $400 just for a leak detection company. Luckily the leak was in the same place as before and I saw that the ground was wet, so I knew where the leak was. This video is going to go over how to repair that pipe leak, and in this case it was under $10. Full disclosure, I'm not the handy person, so Brian's going to be the one showing us how to do it. And we'll go to Home Depot together too, so it should be a fun outing. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Stacey. Thanks for coming by. I make videos about making money, saving money, investing, real estate investing, and credit cards. So if these are subjects you're interested in, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. Today's video is going to be about fixing a pipe. My swimming pool kept losing water and I couldn't figure out why, but right here I noticed that it was really wet. And I've had a broken pipe here before. So Brian's going to show us how we fix a leaky pipe. Brian, what's the first step?
First step is to identify where the most area is saturated. The heavily saturated areas is most likely where the leak is occurring.
Okay, we've already identified that because it's all wet right here and everywhere else it's dry. So then you're going to go ahead and just take the shovel and you're going to dig up around there.
Yes, we're going to take a few swigs at it. We'll go down. Careful not to hurt any pipes. Now we have to find out where the leak is coming from by turning the pump back on. That'll put pressure in the line and should show the water where it's squirting out.
Okay, so I'll be right back. I'm going to go turn the pump on so we can see where the leak is coming from. Okay, so we've got those pliers.
Yeah, these are slip joint pliers. This is a good brand. This is Channel Lock. You can't get any better than this. They don't break, and this is about a 14-inch one. It gives you a good solid grip on just about anything. And you can use this in other home projects. I use this all the time. This is one of my go-to tools for just getting a good solid grip on things. And if you got somebody who's not like super strong, it's also good because it gives you a lot more leverage even on small things. So for this, because we got to grab something that's fairly wide, I can adjust it, as you can see in the slip joints.
So how are you going to fix this one? You want to show us?
Yes. I'm also going to take another smaller pair of slip joint pliers, grip the base with one hand, grip this on the other. You've got to adjust to the right size. It's just right. Here we have Blake the dogs.
So this is hopefully fixed. Brian is now turning the pump back on in the water. And it's still leaking. Look at that. Didn't work. This still has a leak. What are your options now?
There's two options. We can sweat weld.
What does that mean?
Sweat solder a new piece of copper with a sleeve over it and seal it up. Or optionally we can get another pipe union and see if that does the trick. The pipe union is the easiest thing to do.
Well, we should probably do the easiest because we're trying to make home repairs easy.
And most people are not going to sweat solder, so the pipe union might be your best bet.
Okay, let's go shopping.
Okay.
What do you think? We should take it off and take it to Home Depot so that we can figure out what size to get?
Absolutely.
Or we're going to go to Lowe's?
Home Depot carries more products than Lowe's in general. Get the center with one hand. This can be done with two people.
Well, one person's filming, so it's going to be done with one person.
Yeah, and loosen the knot.
so if we just came to this and it was, you didn't have that on there and there was just a hole in the pipe, what would you have done right here?
The actual, if a plumber was doing it, he would take the collar around here, sweat solder it, and put a piece of pipe in between and actually sweat solder it.
So if you don't want to hire a plumber, you want to make it kind of inexpensive, do you just cut the pipe right here?
Yeah, the pipe was already cut.
So how would you cut it?
We found this already cut. You can cut it with a hacksaw blade. The important thing is that this has enough rubber on either side to cover that, because the flange, as you can see, only covers just a little bit. We think this rubber is just deteriorated at this point. As you can see from the gaps here, it's chewed up. And this thing has to be able to slide on, like you see them here. Slide it on, put the rubber on this side, and slide it back and tighten it down.
All right, let's go shopping.
We're off to Home Depot.
Let's go.
Parts.
Oh, hang on, I gotta get in too. Okay, so we're on our way to Home Depot. Okay, so we just returned from Home Depot.
Got the new part, and that's the new PVC pipe union, 1.25 inch. And the thing right now is to clean off the pipes so it makes a good seal. Even though it's a little muddy, but for some reason the water has not been absorbed into the soil. We'll do our best here. Okay, and remember, PVC plumbing is only for outdoor use only. It is not recommended for indoor because it's not completely strong.
Okay, so what's the next step?
Next step is to clear off as much debris on the pipe as possible and clear it off. And just caked on mud. It doesn't need to have any caked on mud. It can be wet because it's a plumbing fixture. But just to get any kind of caked on stuff, we're going to clean it off. Go in there, make sure it's nice and clean. We'll start by putting in one of these at one end. Always put the fitting in first, and then we're going to put this little guy on here, which is seals it. Push it in as far as possible so we can get the fitting there. We're going to do the same on this side, and we're going to slide this end in here. Now, we need to know by looking at this, and it might be something to measure it out, but maybe a stick or something. We need to know where the end of the pipes are. And something like this maybe, just to measure it out. So we need to know that the ends are pretty much here. So we're going to set this right here to show when the end of this pipe is and the end of this pipe is. Otherwise, we're not going to know once we put this on here. We'll slide this on and let's see, match it up with the ends as close as possible so as much thread goes on it. And then we're going to slide the little rubber seals on either side. And we'll slide this one down. This will take a little work here. These have to go all the way inside of it. So there we go. The rubbers are sealed, and then these couplings push the rubber in there and make a seal. So right now we're going to pull the pipes apart because they're rubbing against each other. Tighten one end up. Just do a hand tight. Okay. And then we're going to tighten it up with a big wrench. This is where It does take 2 wrenches to do this, or pliers, slip joint pliers. And you keep turning until you can't turn it any further. And it should be pushing the rubber seal in place as you're tightening it. We move on to this side. Once the threads match. Yes. If the threading is correct, the fitting goes on real easy and smooth. And just like the other side, it should be pushing that rubber seal into place. Do it as hard as possible. Okay, we're going to test it, see if we made a seal.
Okay, I'll go turn the pump back on. Okay, so the pressure's back on. How's it looking, Brian?
It's still got a minor leak, so we're just basically going to have to tighten it up a little bit more and see if that seals it.
So let's see that leak. Oh yeah, you can see it at the bottom.
Okay, now, as you can see, there is no water leaking out on either side. We would see a ripple in the water like we saw before. So it looks like our seal is in place, and we've done a cheap repair. Yep, easy to repair, something anybody could possibly do. At the most, it could last for years. As long as the pipe isn't disturbed and the rubber stays sealed, it'll last for years, typically.
So if it leaks in a few months, we just kind of dig it up and do the same thing?
We can replace it, or what we might have to do is just tighten up the rings on the seals again and push it, give it a little more tightening.
All right, Brian, thanks for showing us how to do this. What is this called again?
Well, you basically repaired a pipe with a PVC pipe union.
All right, thanks. We'll be using you in the future for more repairs.
We're glad to help. Thanks.
How does a plumber make money in a casino? Playing craps. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.